Today we begin reading from the book of Judges. It tells the story of the many tribes that are brought together to become a nation. The book of the Judges, the historians tell us, stretches for about 2 centuries. From the time of Joshua, when people arrive in the promised land, to the time of Saul, when he becomes the king of Israel. The book has a simple theology. The people forget the covenant they made with God. And when they do so, they are open to many abuses. They begin worshiping the gods of the nations that surround them. They lose their identity. And this is a cause for pain and sorrow. And the pain and sorrow that they experience leads to grief. In their grieving, they call out to God, who heeds their call, reaches out to them through judges. These were not judges as in magistrates, but these were heroic figures who will implore the people and turn them towards God. And in their very lives, they passed judgment on the people. And when the judges reorient the people, for a time Israel knows reprieve. They know peace. But no sooner has the judge died that people resort back to apostasy, worshipping other gods, forgetting the covenant. My dear brothers and sisters in Christ, this is not only the story of Israel. This is the story of any nation. This is the story of the church. How at times we can easily forget the covenant we have made with God. How we can forget our identity, the distinctive marks of our faith, and how we can consider ourselves to be like anybody else. If the story of the Judges is about the story of Israel, it is also the story of redemption. For even when people are not faithful to the covenant their ancestors made, yes, God does abandon them for a while, but God also heeds their call. In fact, God does not abandon them. They think God has abandoned them. And when they discover their many faults and turn back to God, they are forgiven. The gospel is a rather interesting one, for you need to have a young man who goes to Jesus and he says to him, "Good master, what must I do to inherit the kingdom?" And Jesus asks him about the law. Do you know the law? And he's quick to justify himself. Yes, I know the law and I have observed it. And Jesus says to him, there is one thing that is lacking. Go and sell all your possessions and give them to the poor. Come and follow me. The young man finds what Jesus is asking of him too much to bear. And the gospel says he went away sad. My dear brothers and sisters in Christ, there are certain possessions that stand between us and God. And when those possessions are like that, they become idols. We begin worshiping them. And in asking for more, the young man thought Jesus would give him more laws. But Jesus is asking him to live by a new set of values. and that he finds too much to take. The gospel invites us to reevaluate our lives and to see what is it that hinders us from being members of the kingdom.